to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. Tonight, it'll be the Utah Jazz. We are thank you for that. And now the Golden State Warriors starters. Eric Paschal out there with Junior. Then it's Andrew Wiggins. Portis is out there with Donovan Mitchell. Then there's McDaniels. And it's Brantley in at the 4. Greg, so much excitement. The final game of the regular season is here.
You know, be it the playoffs, for those lottery teams, maybe a nice family vacation. There's always a silver lining for everybody.
Right. They can play 2K, too, if they're not in the playoffs, right? Portis kicks to Mitchell. He can't get it to go. And Golden State will come the other way. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
Really consistent with their aggression. In that game, we saw very few lulls from an intensity standpoint.
A couple things stood out for me. They were relentless, and they also played under control. That's a deadly combination.
And stolen by Junior. A 3-ball, and the basket by Curry.
Range that extends out to the parking lot. How do you guard that?
Knocks it loose, and stolen by Junior. And it goes down 2 points.
Attacking the defense with the pass. Don't need to be a hero.
On offense, here are the Jazz. 7-point differential. Last time in San Francisco, they lost to the Warriors.
Rough game defensively. I mean, they lost a lot of the individual matchups, and the help was slow to rotate.
Point blank, this is a bad combination. If you're looking to get stops, that's not the way.
And when you talk about certain players having that it factor, Donovan Mitchell fits that bill.
He does. Confident in his approach, GA. Fearless on his attack. Donovan Mitchell is one of those guys who can go off for 50 if you let him get into rhythm. As long as he's in Utah, that team will remain competitive.
6 on the shot clock. There's Portis. That one's not going to go. Great D that time from Duncan. To the middle. And Junior throws it down.
Great teamwork. Impressive finish. That's the result of hours of practice getting the timing down.
Portis, the pass to Whiteside. Curry against Portis. Shoots over Curry. Portis can't get it to go. Warriors leading by 9. Nice catch and finish on the alley-oop.
And you can see their strategy coming in. They want to control the paint.
This is my type of approach. Get some high percentage looks. Then later, you can play inside out.
And that's a little lack of fight at the defensive end.
Absolutely. At least on that slam, you're right. That's one way to let a team back in the game.
Yeah, defensively, your mantra at this point has to be no easy bucket.
The new group. The Warriors making a switch here. Junior dishes to Curry. Back to Duncan. And Duncan throws it down.
Boy, that was quick. Already out to a double-digit lead.
This has been a beatdown right here. Possibly over before it began.
Lobs it up for Ibaka. Deft touch on the alley-oop.
Ibaka, known for his rebounding and shot blocking, he's added to his game.
And Duncan throws it down hard.
And what a way to start this game, dominating at both ends of the floor.
They came in prepared, focused, and really jumped on the other team early.
Here's Clarkson. And the rebound goes to the Warriors.
Shut down. This is the way you play defense. This is how you protect the rim.
And the basket by Curry.
Yeah, we're seeing some fireworks from them already.
They established the pace. They made shots. This is why they're way out in front.
There's 53 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Here's Clarkson. And they come right back with their own three-pointer.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
How often do we see this these days? Clubs answering each other from range.
Duncan against Ibaka. Passes to Curry. Just 4 to shoot. Three-pointer. And the Warriors get it back. And Junior throws it down.
Gotta love the hustle from Junior. When he works hard on the glass, he's rewarded for his efforts.
Clarkson looking for an opening. Outside Bogdanovich. Offline with his three. It's Richardson on the wing from deep. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. And so, guys, it's Junior making things happen for the Golden. So it's Utah now. They trail by 11. At the top of the key, Mitchell. Portis against Pascal. Here's Mitchell. Pass to McDaniels. He feeds it to Whiteside. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Fades back. The Warriors pull it in. Junior's got his 5th rebound in this one.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
Setting the floor for the Warriors. They've got Andrew Wiggins. Rick Pascal out there with Junior. And it's Poole in at the point.
What I love about Junior, he's got grit and tenacity. He's always looking for ways to improve.
Looking at current NBA players, Greg, leaving aside the real star players, who would you love to have played with from this era?
Man, there's so many guys that, and I hate to call them role players because they bring so much more to the table. But in reality, they got to fill some roles, right? And, John Collins is a guy who's got great potential, a tremendous finisher around the rim. How about Robert Covington, a smooth shooter who defends his tail off? Davis Bertans, a deadly floor spacer who can put the ball down and create and make plays. So there's so many guys like that in the league that make a difference in determining whether your team can win or lose.
Boy, those are 3 names I don't know that I would have mentioned, so I'm glad you did. Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. Junior, in his last outing against the Timberwolves, was a driven player. He dropped in 38 points and was his usual dominant self on the glass. The numbers in that game make me anxious to see what he can do tonight. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Greg, it was obvious. He was having a lot of fun out there. Tremendous victory.
I'll tell you, he may have been enjoying himself, but whoever was matched up against him certainly wasn't.
What I like is they just kept calling his number. Sometimes we see coaches go away from what's working, and we wonder why.
Warriors leading by 15. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. And Whiteside sends it back.
Whiteside gives enough space, waits, elevates. Quality block shot by the big fella.
Mitchell outside. Shot from the top of the key. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
This is why you're trying to get him as many touches as possible. He's got the neck.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. And so it's the Golden State Warriors. Their lead at 15 going into the break. One big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You look at Junior in this one, he's been everywhere.
Well, he left his mark on that first half with his quick hands. Great sense of timing to pile up the steals.
Well, if you want to get into your offense quickly before the defense can set up, creating turnovers is a great way to do it.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. And so in the game for the Jazz, Donovan Mitchell is out there with Portis. Then there's Whiteside. Then there's McDaniels. And it's Brantley in at the power forward. Jazz trail by 15. Pass to Whiteside. Banked in off the glass. Whiteside's got the first basket of the third quarter for Utah.
Showing off his inside game. Whiteside looking good there.
And a minute played as the second half gets going. Junior the pass to Curry. Back to Duncan. Over Whiteside. No good from Duncan.
And I was sure that was money on that one, but everyone is afforded an easy miss or two.
Yes, let's look on the bright side. You got a great look. It's a play that you might want to go back to again.
Poole, the pass to Junior. Count it. That's now 26 points for Junior.
The contact can't phase Junior. He's used to playing that.
Have to want to make the effort.
Draymond Green, he's checked in for Golden State. And it's Wright with the ball for the Jazz. 15-point game. And there's the call on Curry. That's his first foul. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Duncan, the pass to Forrest. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist.
Wonderful job moving the rock. Junior's willingness to work it to his open teammates is fantastic.
Wright finds Clarkson. Nice ball movement by Utah. Kicks it out to Bogdanovich. Another miss by Utah.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
And this has been Junior's game so far. It's obvious he's not afraid to step up and carry the offense.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Hey, Kevin. Bojan Bogdanović was a pro in Europe for a decade before he joined the NBA. And the Croatian sharpshooter says, a lot of players who are happy over there, but I wanted to have another challenge, to play against the best in the world. That was the only thing that was important to me. Guys, he's lived up to that promise.
He loves that challenge, and he's having success. D.A., thank you.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
And it's Bogdanovich off the drive. Can't hit from 12.
All the energy is on the other side right now, and every miss just makes it worse.
You know what? This has always been a debate. Do you take the time out, or do you let your guys try to fight through it?
The pass to Ibaka. Here's Wright Foreman. Now, here's Clarkson. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Duncan. Rebounded by Serge Ibaka.
Get that weak stuff out of here. That's embarrassing.
To halt the run. And the rebound goes to the Warriors. Junior's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Wiggins kicks to Junior. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got 6 assists in the game. And so it's the Golden State Warriors with a 34-point advantage heading into the break. From the field, they have been outstanding. Amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout.
He's the man in charge.
So many good point guards in this league. So much responsibility comes with that position. That was a smart play.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. So for the Golden State Warriors right now, they've got Duncan, and it's Law in at the 3. It's deflected, and it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Tomorrow, Utah retains possession. And Greg, you play with some big personalities. Talk about the best way to manage egos and conflicts in the locker room. That's a very interesting topic.
No doubt about it. You know, Kev, first thing you learn from middle school on, your team is your family. And let's face it, all families have spats, and so do teams. You just learn to never personalize those things, never leave any stone unturned. Like, don't let things fester. When there are issues, you address them. And if you're not taking things personally, you tend to be able to work through whatever issues you may come in front of.
Good advice.
Yeah, this is Junior going into attack mode. Rises up over the D and just throws it down.
Utah shooting 34% from the field. That's not going to get it done. Mitchell passes to Williams-Goss. Back to Mitchell. And Smitty, we see the success and the great talent level in the WNBA. Do you ever think we're going to see a woman on an NBA roster?
Well, Kevin, that's a good question. Let's look at the history of the game. We've had 2 women drafted, Denise Long back in 1969 and Lucia Harris in 1977. I will say this, Kevin, I do believe so. I think in my era, there's one player I got a chance to watch and play against that could have played for sure was Cheryl Miller.
The feed now to Junior. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Duncan's got 38 points.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
And we're around 2 minutes into the fourth quarter here. Passes it to Brantley. It's stolen by Duncan. Timeout called the Warriors. The Warriors have gone a perfect 4 of 4 to start the final quarter. Can't ask for anything more than that. And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing. Utah called for the foul. That's good from Richardson. In the league, taking steps to discourage teams, Greg, from tossing away seasons in search of high draft picks. Has enough been done, you think, in that regard?
We'll see. I tell you, the idea of a play-in
that's
tournament
a tough one, isn't it?
For the last few playoff spots, I think that's a good idea, actually. It might keep more teams in the hunt down the stretch. And I think the onus also, if the fans put enough pressure on their teams to try to develop what they have and not always put it on the future, I think that's going to help. But I think you're going to always have a little bit of that moving forward.
Shot clock at 3. McDaniels. No good again that time. Golden State's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Pass to Bullard. Now here's Junior. Poked away and stolen by Whiteside. Brantley passes to Williams-Goss. Whiteside with it. Pass to Brantley. 4 on the clock. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Here's Tucker. Whiteside trying to break free. The Jazz again can't hit it.
Easy chance from mid-range. Wouldn't be surprised to see them run that play again.
Count that one. Duncan's got 40 points.
And they're getting points. They're getting stops. And this is how they'd like to play all the time.
Yes, when it's going good, it feels easy. These are the nights you relish, but they're tough to replicate.
Look at the clock. A little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. To the left wing. The Jazz working the ball around now. And it's slammed in by Whiteside.
So many of Whiteside's points, they come on dunks.
Oh, and the jam by Duncan.
Statement finish. Junior putting a little extra on that move, trying to get into the other team's head.
Bogdanovich, he's checked in for the Jazz. Jordan Clarkson comes in for McDaniels. Greg, we're seeing the game evolve. We're seeing more and more big men displaying perimeter skills. Do you like that? Or is there a part of you that misses those days when it all played out inside the lane in a very condensed area?
Listen, Kev, I think the game has kind of evolved on from the impact that the bigs had on the interior, but not the impact that they're having on the game. The reality is the game just doesn't stand still. And now as a big, you've got to have far more versatility. You got to be able to play in space. And as a fan, I just find the game to be more appealing to watch with the freedom of movement, the flow, and more of the skill set being put on display.
I agree.
That's the smart basketball we're used to seeing from Junior. He's constantly looking out for others.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Warriors.
The one area that stands out that we've seen tonight from them, their aggressiveness in getting steals, something I know that you really value yourself.
I think it sparked their offense. It deflates the opposition, and when you have the type of effort we saw tonight, it's pretty hard to overcome that defensive pressure down the stretch.
And words can hardly describe the way these guys have come out game after game after game and been dominant facing both conferences. When they hit the 72-win mark, we thought it couldn't continue. And when they rewrite the record books once more, we'll say, wow, we were glad we watched it all. What a team.
They were really smart in the use of that game plan tonight. Used it in their first 2 games against this team, which equaled to 2 wins.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Duncan.
He played with a lot of fire, a lot of heart, especially on the glass. He's one of those guys who acts like every rebound is his, and many of them were tonight.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. To come into an opponent's building and dominate the way they did tonight says, I think, Greg, an awful lot about this team.
I guess they don't need home cooking to feel at home. I mean, Kevin, just a masterful performance all the way around.
That's it, folks. The NBA regular season is in the books. For Steve Smith, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan.